Happy good day. This is Brianne from Zenful Mindings, bringing you the first video in a new series that I'm starting to work on, a yoga quickie, if you will, because a lot of the times we do not have, we don't have the time to, sit and do a 60-minute practice or even a 30-minute practice. Or maybe we're new to yoga and we don't know what any of these postures mean when people say them, and it can be really hard to follow a video. So I just wanted to walk you through a few movements that can help you feel a little bit more energized in your day. So hopefully you can find something in here that resonates with you, that you can try in the mornings, halfway throughout the day when you need a little pick-me-up, and gain a little bit more confidence in what those sensations feel like in your body, and a little bit more curiosity to discover more. My wonderful cat Teague has decided to join us here. So if you're doing this at home, I have found that yoga draws in the pets. So find some joy in that, perhaps, if that's true in your house. And you don't need anything special for this. So I have a mat out, but you do not need one. You can just pop a squat anywhere on your floor. It feels good. You don't even need a super large amount of space around you for what we're going to do. But do be mindful of your setting, of course. And just join me in finding a comfortable seat. So maybe that's this crisscross applesauce like I'm doing now, but maybe it's more comfortable for you to have your legs out in front, or even to be sitting on your heels. Feel free to use blankets or pillows underneath you to boost you up, whatever feels good for you and your cat or dog or children if they're around. And then maybe we'll just close our eyes if that feels comfortable. If not, I just invite you to soften your gaze. And we're just going to start to notice our bodies a little bit. So we're not trying to change anything or use like a judgy voice. We're not supposed to be doing anything different. We're just looking inward. So we're noticing our breath, and we're noticing how our body feels, maybe scanning from top to bottom, head, neck, shoulders, torso, hips, legs, feet. Is your breath fast or slow? Where do you feel it in your body? And again, just notice those. And then however you're sitting, we're going to bring some extra focus and awareness to the spots where we're in contact with the floor. So if you're sitting like me, it might be your sits bones, your ankles, your heels, the sides of your feet. If you're sitting with your legs out in front, it might be the backs of your legs, or perhaps your knees and the shins if you're sitting on your heels. So whatever that is, just notice them. And notice how the ground, the floor, is supporting you. You don't have to do any work right in those areas. With our next exhalation, we're going to sink into those spots a little bit more. So we're going to let those areas of our body get a little heavier, give them permission to be supported. And with the following inhalation, we're going to imagine this string at the crown of our head, just sort of gently nudging us to sit a little taller in our spine. So it's not this huge macro movement, but it's just a small re-lengthening through the spine. You might feel your belly pull in just slightly towards your spine. Maybe your collarbones broaden out and your shoulder blades slide down your back. And after noticing how you feel here, with an exhalation, we're going to bring our chin down towards our chest, keeping that length. And we're going to breathe. Imagine sending that breath to the back of the neck for a nice stretch. With your next inhalation, we're going to bring left ear to left shoulder. Linger here for a breath, breathing into the long side of your neck. And then we'll exhale back down through center. Inhale up to the other side. And then an exhale, bring us back down, chin towards the chest. And then we're going to inhale, just look up ever so slightly. So we're not crunching the back of the neck, but we're just giving the ceiling a what for. Maybe you're looking at where the wall meets the ceiling. And then we'll exhale out through our mouths just to let everything go. And we let go of that work that's happening in the spine for a minute. Or maybe we just round forward. Shoulders still sliding down the back. Just feeling what that's like to create length this way versus sitting up tall. With an inhalation, we'll sit back up tall. And whatever fancy dancy move you want to use, we're going to come to standing. And we're going to just take stock of how we're holding ourselves and our feet. So feet will come underneath the hips. And notice if your weight in your feet is maybe off to the sides or on the inner arches or the front or back. And we'll just see if we can start to redistribute that so it's more even throughout all of the corners of our feet. We're going to stand up tall, press through our feet, keeping our knees still a little soft. Long in the spine, again, maybe imagining that string at the crown of our heads. Hands will just be down beside our bodies. And with an inhalation, we're going to scrunch our shoulders all the way up to our ears. Really do it. Maybe make some fists. And with an exhale, we're going to let it go. We're going to do that 2 more times. So we're going to scrunch as much tension as you can muster. Mustard. Not ketchup. Muster. And then let go. That was a dumb joke. And one more time. Scrunch, 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 scrunch. And let it go. With an inhalation, we're going to bring our arms out to the side. Let them sweep up overhead. Maybe we glance up. And with our exhalation, we're going to hinge at the hips, bring ourselves into a forward fold. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. So my feet are still hip width apart. Maybe hands come down to the ground. Maybe you grasp opposite elbows. Maybe hands are nowhere near the ground. Wherever you are, that's cool. Maybe you give yourself a nice generous bend in the knees. Whatever we do, we are still evenly distributing our weight in our feet, keeping a soft bend in our knees, and then letting our head, neck, and shoulders be heavy. And we're breathing. Oops, sorry. We're going to stay here for a couple more breaths. This is incredibly calming if you find yourself at any busy parts of your day where you're starting to feel like the blood pressure rise and you just need a moment to calm yourself. Sneak off into the bathroom and do some forward folds. I like to do that myself. And then maybe you notice with your exhalations that your spine starts to get a little bit longer, just very naturally without any effort. It's like, yes, let gravity take over. And then when you're ready with an exhalation, we're going to release hands if they're on the elbows. We're going to straighten a little bit through the legs, still not locking the knees. And with an inhalation, we're going to lift just halfway. So we're going to think number 7, if you will. And then hands can rest on the floor still, or on the shins, or somewhere on the thighs. And we're going to think about translating this length in the spine we had sitting and standing, but this time we're going to translate it horizontally. So maybe we think about pressing our tailbones towards the back of the room and our crown of the head towards the front or the sides, however you're standing, I don't know. Shoulder blades still sliding down the back, so towards the tailbone. And notice that this can be some hard work. It's very energizing. I'm going to stay here for another 2 breaths. And with that last exhalation, we're going to slide back down into our version of forward fold. Use an inhalation to sweep the arms out to the sides and up. Inhale here, and then we're going to exhale. Let the arms come down to the side. We're just going to shake it out a little bit. Whatever that means for you, maybe do some jazz hands. That's cool too. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, wiggle the body. And then close your eyes and just notice the difference now versus when you started these movements. My hope is that you feel a little bit more lighter and a little bit more energized, not like 10 cups of espresso energized, but lighter, right? A little bit more ready to move, a little bit easier breathing. So I hope that you can find some value in taking these movements into your morning or throughout your day. And I thank you for your time and joining me today. Namaste.